Welcome to the CFG GameCast episode number 15, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and we release of podcast services like Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean, so show us some love. And follow us on our Twitch channels to not miss an episode. You can check out Smitty, as always, on Smitty2447. Go check out Sesh's awesome stuff at Review Sesh. And you can also check out Mr. CFG himself, CFG Games. I am Davis Green, and with me, as always, are a group of fellow awesome gamers. I have the Metal Gear Solid master, finally, the master of masters, aka the Backlog Queen. I got Sesh Evans on the second mic. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. A dog bumped into me today, jumped up, and so I cut my lip on my own teeth. But besides that, doing well. I'm still amped up. I'm still campaigning for my Metal Gear Solid short, which is why he brought that up so I could plug it, because I am crowdfunding for that.
Oh yeah, I was wanting to plug it because I have mad respect of the DARPA chief, and you know it too. even though he has never been saved, he's never been in it.
Is it spoilers? Can I say?
Oh yeah, dude.
Actually met the DARPA chief. Yeah, we all love him. DARPA chief.
That's awesome.
Yes,
that's awesome.
There's two parts of that: the DARPA chief, and then they just randomly in Metal Gear Solid 2, they just a serious moment, and they're like, the Lolly Lule Low, and I'm like, what the heck is that? Who brings that up?
I'm gonna find out. That's the next game I'm gonna be playing, so I'm gonna get all into the Lolly Lule Low phase of this series.
Yeah,
and I'm excited. I haven't played it really since it came out, with the same with all of them, so it's been quite a few years.
Oh yeah, see, that'd be great. And the biggest it's like, can you just imagine that conversation is like, we need to make an organization, a quiet organization that goes in the shadows, but we need to make it a very fearful name. I know, the Lale Lulelo. And I'm like, oh, you're just drunk.
Patriot.
Yes.
If you want to, I could plug my it's an Indiegogo I'm doing. I could plug that into the chat. I know that doesn't help the podcast people, but it could help the other people.
Oh, yeah, plug it in the chat. But then again, but while you do that, I will also introduce the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing well, my friend. It's been, again, something that I'm going to talk about, and this is a little preview. And we talked about it last time. I've been playing that game, Gold Express. They've got another beta weekend going on right now. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a game that a lot of people enjoy, so I'm excited to talk about it. Other than that, man, had a big meeting this weekend, this week. So, hence why I shaved my beard. I had to look presentable. So I think that went pretty well. So I'm waiting to hear back on that stuff. I'm actually going to New York next weekend. So I'm excited about that. So got a lot going on, but enjoying it, getting some games in. I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 2 with Irma Gerd. So we've almost finished that. We're looking to beat that this weekend, and then maybe get into some of the DLC stuff. So that's exciting.
Yo, dude,
things are going pretty well.
I didn't know you were playing Borderlands 2. I would have been playing with you, dude.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. Probably within the last week and a half, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play it. Get back on it. And then her and she basically carried me. But I was leveling so fast. It's I got up to I'm at level. I'm only 25 right now, but I'm close to finishing the story. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I see the love now for Borderlands. I had a hard time really getting into it, but now that I've gotten into it, I'm like, yeah, dude, this game is. I'm I'm gonna go back. I'll go back and play the original, and then when 3 comes out and all that stuff. So exciting stuff. What about you, man? What's been on your agenda?
Oh man, well, I've been doing a lot of constant editing right now. We the website confreaksandgeeks.com. That's a shameless plug. We are currently doing coverage over at San Diego Comic-Con right now, so we've been doing some crazy interviews. Actually, it's actually pretty cool. We got what's it called? We talked to Kevin, what's his name? The voice of Batman. Kevin Conroy. Yeah, we talked to Kevin Conroy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Then we also talked to Will Friedle, the older brother from Boy Meets World. Because it's the 20th anniversary of the Batman Beyond. And I was like, dang, it's been 20 years. Wow. Yeah. So then in 2 months, they're going to be releasing the whole series in a Blu-ray box set. So they've been hyping it up and stuff. So then we were talking to Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Norman Reedus yesterday. So that is, so I've been so busy. I've been so busy just doing things. Exactly. So, hopefully in the next couple of weeks though, when I come out there, actually I come out to Vegas and not this weekend, but not this following weekend, but the weekend after. So, after all that,
Evo?
Yeah, it's Evo. So, after all that,
you guys are both going to be out here, right?
Yeah, we're going to be both out there, I believe. Are you going to Evo still?
I don't think I am. I might change my mind with it. There's no melee. Oh,
yeah.
So
then play the new one.
More than half the people actually. I do. Okay, I do, and I do love the new one and all of that. But I go to Vegas and I go to the tournaments to hang out with my friends mostly. So a lot of them are just not going to be there, which is really unfortunate. So it makes the trip really hard for me to go to when it's like about 60% of the people I actually hang out with aren't going to go there.
Oh, God.
And a lot of people that are going to be there are ones that are basically locals here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, take it easy.
So the ones that I'm friends with. Yeah. So I'm still waiting for the job to be permanent, and then I'll be spending the money. I'm pretty sure TwitchCon's just going to be my next one.
Oh, boy.
Right.
Yeah, when's TwitchCon? September? Late September, I believe? Yeah, it's like the week.
Late September. So I literally just bought my tickets, and we'll talk more about that later, because housing.
Right. Alrighty, so let's get into it right now. Let me put on my spiel. If I can find my spiel. Here we go. All right. Each of us picks a new topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. We also don't want to just talk about our topics. We also want to hear you, the listener or the viewer, to chime in on our discussions. While during the middle of the discussion, Smitty will take a look into the chats, and then we'll bring y'all into it too. Or at the end of the discussions that we have, and on 3 discussions, if you have just a question or a specific thing you want us to discuss about, go to the top of the page where it says CFG GameCast, type in your question, and we'll put it at the end of the show. But other than that, Smitty, I think you were first last week, so it's only fair that No, you know what? No. Sesh, you go first.
Boom.
Me? Oh, hi.
Swerve. That's what happened.
What? They caught me off guard, man. Everyone's catching me off guard today. Did you guys see that picture that was posted? I was not ready for that picture, but
oh no!
Anyways,
no!
I am ready for this. No, it's funny. I think it's funny. It's okay.
What picture? What picture was posted? I gotta see this now.
The social media picture for this one is just funny. I'm like, I think I'm saying something, but it's not so obvious.
It kind of looked like a smile though. So I was like, I think it's good. I think we're good.
Are we taking a picture? Are we taking a picture smile?
Smitty's like, this is fine.
You caught me off guard. Everyone's caught me off guard. That's all right. That's cool. I'm gonna just get it over with.
Oh, that's funny.
So you might have heard the news. It is funny. So, and this is also kind of funny too. So you might have heard the news about a new game that's being crowdfunded. Hint, hint. I'm going to be talking about crowdfunding stuff too, like my stuff later. But for now, this game, and I'm really excited about this game because it sounds amazing. And
oh no!
Oh, you cut out again.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. It should be good now. It's good now.
Okay, you're good.
So this crowdfunded game, I think it's still being crowdfunded, so you might be able to contribute, it's called Peace Island, and you're on this island, and there are no humans, and you are one of many cats on this island trying to find out what happened, and just living on the island. It's amazing. You solve puzzles and there's mysteries, and I'm just so excited for it. Not only that, but it's in development for PC and Mac, which is cool. Oculus and VR. So this is going to be a VR cat experience.
Why are you so happy about being a freaking cat just walking around the streets of San Francisco?
You know what? We, as gamers, we don't get to play as these cool creatures enough, or like just any animals. It's always humans. That's kind of boring. You could be whatever you need to be in these things. We should be playing as like octopus and squid and sharks, and like, yes, those things do exist in a handful of games, but there could be more of them. And this is just an open world game as a cat on an island, and there's puzzles and mysteries, and it's being crowdfunded. Like, all of it's just fun, cool stuff.
I'm sorry, you're way too hyped for this. I think personally, this is like kind of like, if someone's as hype as you are right now, it's kind of like the No Man's Sky kind of hype, the original No Man's Sky kind of hype to me.
No way.
Yeah, you're like, you are like totally.
That game was like, you're gonna play, and then it's gonna be you playing and looking forever in the stars, just like the real space, and that's why we don't go there, because it's too big and expansive and boring. But this is a cat. I don't know what the survival things will be for the cat. Maybe there's some kind of, you have to go hunting, but you have a little pack. You have a little pride of cats with you. And it's supposed to be sci-fi and mystery and alternate history.
Literally every photo that Smitty has just shown was the cat just sitting down. Like, literally every photo just now was just the cat not even moving. He was just sitting there.
There might be. I think there's one where it's looking at a sunset, so it looks really pretty. You know, like this just looks like a really fun little game, and I think it's just a nice little idea, and I think it's really cute too. I like that it's being. I'm like torn on the Kickstarter stuff, because sometimes like, wow, this idea is so brilliant. Like, why the heck is the studio not funding it? And then other times it's like, wow, look how cool and how something could be made that wouldn't normally be made by a studio based on like a Kickstarter or like a crowdfunding thing.
How much is this thing raised? Do you know?
On this one, I think they have they've raised $13,000 of the time of this article that I pulled up, which was just sometime this week. So I'm sure it's gotten more since then, since I'm not the only one. I wasn't the first person within my network that saw it either. So it doesn't say how much they're going for just yet.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Smitty?
Let me go. Okay.
Was this I remember hearing about this too, and I remember people were talking. I can't remember if it was on social media or if it was at like an event or something like that they announced this game. But I remember thinking I was like, that seems kind of interesting.
You know
I don't know why, but it kind of does.
Okay,
I'm looking now. So
this is my thing right here.
The Kickstarter says 13,000 pledged of 7,000 goals. So this game is going to be made, guys. They did it. They almost doubled the goal, which is great.
This game needs to be $5. This game needs to be, I swear, it needs to be like $5 or free, because I'm
sure it's going to be a cheap one.
This kind of game, to say that you're going to donate in this, in my opinion, and I mean, I don't know if I've said this. I mean, I'm not personally a fan of Kickstarters, especially when it comes to making games, because it's such.
I'm going to blow your mind then.
Very random
I looked
thing.
at some Kickstarter games.
Very random to me.
Yeah, it can be. Like, I do think it's a random game, but I think I like the idea. I think it's very well suited for just a fun little game that's going to be like $5 to $10, depending on how long and how intricate like the actual puzzles are of the game. Mm-hmm. I could see it could be either way. It could be very boring, where like you're just looking at like, not great graphics at like a really pretty scenery that just doesn't look great. Or it could be like just really fun and engaging, and then all that background and all that open world stuff.
You should be bad, as a developer. You should be bad to be asking other people money to make a game like this, in my opinion, or any game like that. Because in my opinion, and I'm not saying, okay, so don't get me confused. I'm not saying that they shouldn't make a game, but I'm saying that like. It's kind of like saying you want to make a game. Let's say you just want to make a toilet flushing game, but then you're going to have the public fund that money, as opposed to you not raising the money on your own to do it. It's kind of like that kind of mentality to me. It just seems like really weird to me. It's like, it's really off to me to say that you're going to try to get the money from the masses.
But this game, though, like,
if anything.
It's different though, like this one. Like this game looks like it does have like a purpose and a storyline and something that you can actually play through.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like it's going to be one of those games where like it's going to be making money off of like microtransactions. It looks like it's just going to be self-contained, probably $5-10 included in like, you know, humble bundle kind of stuff sort of game. And, you know, as someone who's like crowdfunding too and who just doesn't have those ties or those connections, even though I have the capability of like, you know, making a movie, I'm sure it's very similar with these as well. Now, there's some other games that are really interesting that are being crowdfunded or have been crowdfunded. And I pulled up some of the interesting ones because I want to talk about those too, because some of them like, okay, yeah, I see it. And other ones, it doesn't quite make sense. So one of the ones, and I've heard amazing things about the first game. It's, you know, part of my backlog only because some very critical people have talked so highly of it. But Psychonauts. Psychonauts 2, that one's being crowdfunded. Now, for me, it's different when something had like a studio beginning and then going to crowdfunding seems a little off and weird to me. The next one I'm naming is like that too, is Shenmue 3.
Yeah, Shenmue is horrible. With that, like I'm just saying,
I actually did Shenmue. Like a lot of people don't, but
I'm not talking about
how they will flop.
No, I'm not talking about Shenmue as a game. I just think that the mentality of that is that they were backed by Sony. Like they got money from people, and they also got backed by Sony. So now that's a AAA game.
Like
that's a triple.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and like they announced it on the stage of E3. Like this was quite a few years ago, and like the series is very old and. It does, you know, each of the games have taken a very long time in development. But yeah, like that one, I was like, guys, like you're making the third one, you're finishing the trilogy, you've already made 2 games in this series. Just give it the money to give it the ending it needs.
Yeah,
right.
And
I mean, that kind of BS.
So it could actually be a game that's more appealing to more people too. Like I like the series.
That kind of BS is like what they should need. Yeah, that's the kind of BS that I don't like is like about Kickstarter. And like I said, all this is not because of the game itself. I'm not talking about that. But like when big business comes into Kickstarter like that and they're asking for money, that's kind of like saying if Disney decided to say, hey, we're going to make our next Disney movie, but we're going to kickstart that. And then we're going to back that money out. Yeah, and then they're going to keep all the money from the profits that they get from that movie. It's like, you can't like that. That's basically just taking people's money and walking away with it. Shenmue is just is worse.
It's upsetting too because like with Shenmue too, this is the 3rd game of the series. Like people do want this; they want the conclusion. So like you're kind of holding it ransom rather than just doing the work for it, which is a really weird way to do it. But then there were 2 other games I wanted to bring up too that I don't know the details behind the backing of it or if there was anything else going on, but these were listed as Kickstarter games and like, wow, they are so fun. So one is Shovel Knight.
Mm-hmm. Yacht Club,
played that one? It's just
I feel like I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight's probably the most popular one,
like
if anything.
Yeah, it was actually pretty dang popular because it was a multiplayer game. You could play as like 1 or 4 of them, and it was like the old NES era classics. It was a lot like Mega Man, like art and structure, but it was like all medieval. It reminded me of like Gauntlet Legends almost, but the playstyle wasn't like that. It was a side-scrolling almost, or more so. But it was just a really, really fun, tight little game, and like it went on. I don't remember which crowdfunding campaign site they used for that one, but they got their funds and they made it. And there's this other game, it's another VR game, and it's now like one of my favorite games. I played it back at my old place with my old roommates, and I highly recommend it. It's called Super Hot, which is this intense gunplay puzzle game that's like physical VR that simulates shootouts, and it's like Matrix levels of gun and knife fights.
Yeah, Super Hot's pretty
and you're
tight.
playing, and you physically control the slow motion with moving your body slower. And it sounds just so simple and weird and just boring, but it's not. Like, it's actually really, really, really fun.
Pete and Sage are like super hot.
Cool.
Super hot.
I had no idea. Yeah. Yeah, like if you beat a stage, it's like super hot. Like it's the stupidest name. The graphics kind of suck, but it's really cool because it feels like you're in like a actual intense training simulator.
Yeah, the game is hard.
You know, the VR missions in Metal Gear Solid would look like this in real life. So
I'm fine with like
it was really fun.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with with groups like Super Hot and Yacht Club to make especially what's it called, because they were like it's kind of hard. It's kind of a hard thing for me to even just donate at all on Kickstarter because of this. But like they were legitimately like, they made the game, and then Yacht Club has been coming back every year, like showing their appreciation of their success to Shovel Knight. Because I mean, they made 4 chapters of Shovel Knight, really good chapters of it. So yeah, I mean, So I'm not saying that all of Kickstarter is bad. I just don't like it when big business is mixed into it. It's like just me.
Yeah, when it's big business, when I think Kickstarter, like, there's some things that do like just cost money to make money, and that's kind of the point of it. But if you're like involved with a company that's already making money elsewhere, that's up to you if you want to invest in this project or not. So like Shenmue, put it on hold if you're not ready to invest on it. You know, wait for fans to have demand for it. If you're scared it's not going to make money, don't like take money from the fans to then just, have them buy the game again when you're in a profitable company. Like that's really, that's not cool to me. I don't think it's cool, but especially it's coming from someone like my crowdfunding thing. Like I am making, users aren't making any money. Like there is like no profit to be made. And so it's frustrating when others, especially big companies, are doing it specifically just to make profit when they're completely capable of spending the money.
Hey, I gotta cut you short because we are at 20-something minutes, but still, that's cool.
I am all done.
All right, good deal. All right, so the nice topic there. My topic is a topic to specifically see if Smitty will change his mind. So, yeah. So, like as we know, back in March, we found out that Google's releasing a new platform. Well, not platform, but a new way of gaming called Stadia. And they announced the pricing structure, I think a month after that, and the bundle and everything like that. So, but people's biggest issue was like there wasn't like people didn't really know fully how it works, and hell, I still kind of don't know how it still works. Like if you have games already that you already had, could you move it over or whatever? Like how does it work? So people were kind of worried about that. This week, Google did a Q&A on Reddit with a big dude, with one of the big wigs of it. His name is Andrei Duranichev for Stadia. He's the product director, and he kind of put some pretty good information to a point where it's like, okay, it's not as bad as what one would think, because as of late, people were comparing Stadia to Netflix. Especially the pro platform. It's like, okay, you can rent a game out, then you can play, but you only have a certain period of time, and then boom, you're gone again. Excuse me. But he came out to kind of clear it out a little bit more. So he says, and this is a quote from him, to be clear, Stadia Pro is not Netflix for games, like some people mentioned. A closer comparison would be like Xbox Live or Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus. The Pro subscribers get 4K HDR streaming, 5.1 surround sound, exclusive discounts, and access to some of their free games. Roughly one free game per month, give or take, starting with Destiny 2. So what he also mentioned was that the way the free games will work will be like the way PlayStation Plus works, which is specifically like if you when you could download it into your queue or like download it into your account itself. Let's say you download it but you don't play it. Let's say you cancel your Pro account, it will still be inside. It will still be inside your account. But during the time frame that you're down or that you're away, you won't have the available games that went through. Like let's say that it was February's free game for the month of February, then you canceled for March, April, May. You'll still have February's free game when you come back, if you come back, but you won't have the months after that. And what the biggest thing that I was wanting to know was, how is it going to play if you already had games? He pretty much says that you have that you can still purchase, like, you don't have to do anything different on your purchasing of games on PC itself. So technically, so Smitty, like all your PC, like your PC games that are Stadia enabled will be compatible with Stadia, like Division 2, since you already started it, or Anthem, and stuff like that will be compatible directly to Stadia, the free version and the pro version. So you don't necessarily need a pro to get to have access to play with Stadia. Instead, Stadia is just more like the thing a pro is going to give you is the 4K and the 4K HDR and the other bells and whistles towards it. So technically,
right,
you won't have to do anything. You wouldn't have to do anything. Yeah. So I think now since they kind of gave that explanation, it makes more sense to me. It's just that the regular version won't come out until next year. So the HDR version comes out in November. And they didn't have a specific date on when the regular version is coming out. So with that information in mind, what do you think about it?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, my thing is, so you have to buy. There's a hardware that you have to buy, right? That's the controller.
No, you don't have to buy you don't have to buy the controller.
Oh, sorry.
That's good.
So you don't have to buy the controller. So how do I use this then? Because you're essentially saying with the free version, I could just now, on any TV or anything like that, download the app and then play my games on there.
I will say this: if you're going to play it on your television, you probably need like a Chromecast or whatever for you to be able to gain access to it. And the other thing that you need,
you think it'll be proprietary to?
Well, yeah, I mean, because you'll need to find there has to be some sort of connection between Google and the box that it's connecting to, because even the pro version itself is going to have comes with a Google Chromecast 4K and the controller itself. Now, you don't have to have the controller. The controller is going to be better connection wise, but you don't have to have it. And also you need a Gmail account, obviously, or something like that. Something that's also Google related. So I guess if you're wanting to play it on your PC the way you've been normally playing it, I mean, I'm assuming it's browser play, but I don't know yet, but for the most part, I don't think you need to do anything towards that.
So I guess that's what I'm not really under. So why would you pay for it then, for the free game? So, like, I could see then you're saying this service is free for people to use, as long as you have, the app or whatever. But if you want the extra bells and whistles and you want to be able to stream it on 4K TVs, here's a package that comes with a controller and a Chromecast to be able to do that. And then you're paying a monthly fee of roughly $9. It's going to end up being like $129 a year, something like that.
Yeah,
for the service.
No. Okay, so think of it like this. Think of it like Hulu. Like Hulu has a free account, and then Hulu has the pay account. Like there's certain things you can watch on Hulu or Crunchyroll, whatever you watch. Certain ones besides Netflix, but certain ones you're able to watch your television show or whatever show, because there's a spot there that's specifically allocated for that tier. But then but you're going to have commercials, you're going to have certain things and stuff like that. Now the way Stadia is going to work is that Stadia is going to have the free one, which which will guarantee HD 1080 at a certain speed, depending on your speed of your internet connection, which I believe was I want to say 10, but I can't remember. Your speeds. But if you're wanting 4K, like if you're wanting 4K resolution while you're playing, they charge for that. It's just the top tier.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah.
Right. Well,
yeah.
So Stu in the Twitch stream, Stu Jersey X says, "I don't trust Google. What if they drop it like Google Plus if it's not profitable?"
You know, it's funny. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was actually thinking the same thing. That's a really good question. A really good point, Stu. There was a spot there. There was something on the QA. Let me see if I can find it. That was talking about what if Google does exactly what you just said. Let me see if I can find it. So give me 1 second. I should have.
You were going to say something, right, Sesh?
Yeah, like I think that's interesting. Like, I don't know if my mind is totally changed on it, but that sounds better.
It does sound more. Yeah, well, especially the fact with the free thing, because I wasn't sure. Like, again, I was thinking about like why do you need the money? But if you're telling me it's a service I can use for free, I'm not going to have all the extras and this and that. But I mean, that to me is like, you just got to get people hooked. Then eventually they're going to give you the money. If you could show me on a free version that this is worth it, I'll throw the ducats at it. I got no problem with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this actually kind of settles me down a little bit as far as with that, because I wasn't understanding. I was like, look, you're basically telling me pay for this new thing that can play the games that I already have. And I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. No,
you're totally right.
It's really alluring, though.
Yeah, this does make a lot more sense.
Right. I think the biggest criticism, the biggest problem that they had, is like, I don't think that they relayed that information to the public correctly. And I mean, because like, I don't think that the way that this has been with Stadia has been very, very bumpy, because I don't blame anyone to be skeptical about what they're trying to do. And then plus what they say that they're trying to do is something that no one has ever done before. No one's ever seen that kind of the process of doing it before. So it's kind of like, yeah, right. We'll see it we'll see it until we believe it, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I can't find it, but I'll tell you what, Stu, I'll try to find it. But there was a really cool article about that, because they were saying, don't quote me on it yet, but they were saying that if something like that was going to be canceled or something, that their initial plan is going to be the 5 to 7 years. But I personally will say, like I said earlier, I'll see it till believe that. But if they don't allow you, but if it's not landlocked to just Stadia, then that means that you have the game. I mean, so because technically, let's say Division 2 will be on Stadia as well, and you can play it on Stadia, but it's going to be under your Uplay account. So it's going to stay on your Uplay account, and same thing for your Origin accounts, your Steam, all this stuff. So I think Stadia will have, like I said, this is not what Stadia is, or because they still haven't really showed how all that works. This is just my thing. I think how it's going to work is that I think Stadia goes into the individual, the accounts of like those kind of things, and then allows access from that point, like a key that says, okay, they own this game, and then play the version on the server on their server. So like there's going to be some sort of level of like a authentication or handshake that between your account with your account information. So I won't be surprised they'll say like, oh, you want to link your Gmail account with your Uplay Origins or something or whatever, and then they'll be like, okay, then those are probably the keys that'll give you the access to the to the certain games on Stadia.
That is pretty cool. All of that is like quite cool. I mean, unless you aren't using Gmail for some reason, and so I'm sure it's going to be weird email issues with that down the road, but it does sound pretty cool, like being able to play some for free at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so like the biggest thing is it's like, obviously you're going to have to wait, because we don't know when Stadia for regular Stadia is going to be coming out for everybody, but the big thing is going to be the 4K and all that nonsense that's going to happen here, I think, in the next two or 3 months. So, and I already got a copy too, so I'll let you know how it is. But yeah. So so looking forward to it. By the way, are you getting Borderlands on Borderlands 3 on PC?
I'll probably get it for PC. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna ask a question to the chat here, but I'll do it after the podcast, because I really want to know this, because it doesn't make sense to me. But okay, well I am done. Smitty, you go for it. Close us out, buddy. Take it away.
All right, I'm going to do a little two-pronged thing because somebody did say something about a different game. I wanted to start, however, with so we are in beta testing right now for this game. It's by Dawn Studios. It's called Gold Express. I talked a little bit about it on the last podcast that they had their first beta last week, and I really enjoyed it. They're super active in their Discord. They really listen to what the beta testers were saying. I kind of played a little bit when I was testing earlier, and they've made changes. You're able to do keybinds and stuff like that. I'm not sure as far as when this is coming out. Let me pull up the trailer here real quick as well. But yeah, it's a super cool game. It kind of reminds me, like I was saying before, it kind of reminds me of Dead by Daylight, kind of like a cyberpunk Dead by Daylight. You've got watchers versus extractors. You're basically trying to get these data cubes into these data centers, and that's what brings down these cars that you can then upload and get out of there. You've got one watcher that's going around trying to kill the extractors, as you can see in the trailer here. So it very much has a Dead by Daylight feel. It operates like it's, again, very early in their beta stages. They still have a lot of work to do. But it's been really positive. What I've played has been a lot of fun. They've got leaderboards and stuff like that. They're already talking about additions, like skins and stuff like that as they move forward with their development in this game. And right now they have it. Like I said, it's a 48-hour beta right now. If you go to their Discord, you can get a key. Everybody is free to get a key from there in their Key Me section and try it out. But it's fun to be able to, especially like earlier in a game's development, being able to be a part of that. Something that I've already, I'm a fan of Dead by Daylight. I like I don't remember what the other one is. But I enjoy that as well. This game is definitely,
Death Garden?
Death Garden, yeah, that's what it is. Death Garden, games like that. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot it. It's been a little bit, but games like that. If you enjoy games like that, I think you'll enjoy this game. Gold Express. It's a lot of fun. Again, their studios and their people have been really responsive in the Discord and taking feedback and stuff like that. So it's really nice. It's always a good feeling when you play a game that you enjoy and then you're able to, interact with the people that are developing it and they're taking your feedback and taking, it's good. You can see that they're really taking care of this. The graphics look gorgeous. They're still smoothing out some of the mechanical things and stuff like that. But, I got to say, I was quite impressed. And it was randomly, I think they randomly hit me up maybe on Twitter or something like that.
They hit you up specifically?
I saw something. Huh?
They hit you up specifically?
I can't remember if it was, it might have been like they had posted like a general thing or something like that, and like either that or they hit me, or they were just finding profiles of people, streamers and stuff like that, and said, "Hey, you want to try out this new game? Come join the Discord." Yada yada yada. So
that's very engaging.
Yeah. No, they're very much about it. I believe the studio is. I want to say it's out of France. I could be making that up, but something is making me, especially just being in their Discord and stuff like that. I see there's people speaking French. One of the languages is French. French.
Come on, man. You gotta culture yourself.
I don't English so well. But the game is a lot of fun, and the fact that they heard their first beta was only 12 hours, which they saw that just wasn't enough time, and people, once you started playing, it's like, look, dude, I'll play this shit. I'll play it all day and all night, no problem. Again, if this is the type of game that is your speed or something that you generally enjoy about the mechanics or these types of games, it'll definitely be worth your while taking a look at it and doing some playing.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
It's really cool.
I had a question though. Is it as confusing as what you have to do with all the stuff you have to do in Death Garden? Like, is there a lot of stuff that you have to do in this one? Like, because there was so much stuff. I was like, I didn't even understand what was going on. There was
and that's hard. Well, I think that's a challenging thing about games like this too. There's not a lot, you know what I mean? Like there's very minimal buttons that you can push. It's not a very intensive, you got to do all this and get in and into the weeds. Like once you figure out what the general mechanics are, it becomes everyone can play it. Anyone can play a game like this. And that's what I really like about it.
Yeah. I mean, like, the simplicity, the simplicity of it is perfectly fine. But I'm talking about, like, in Death Garden, like, y'all were climbing walls. There's so many objectives. I didn't understand, why are y'all doing all of this? But in this one,
no, but there's really only 2 objectives in that game, though.
Oh, there was, like,
get the blood, deliver the blood.
Oh, okay, because there was some extra stuff that y'all were doing. I thought there was something else that y'all were doing.
That just gives you extra like XP and stuff. Yeah. So like, or you had like a challenge or something like that. Yeah, to like level up like one of your skills or something like that.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck is he doing? Like, why is he? yeah. So there's no like side objectives in this one that right? It's simple.
Not right now. That might be something that they do, and I could see that. I could see that being the thing too. I mean, even in Dead by Daylight, you'll have your like daily things where like get 5 kills with the nurse, or you know what I mean. So I could see something like that, but just not as. It just seemed confusing because it was a newer game, and you're still kind of trying to figure everything out. So I totally know what you're talking about. That's how I feel still kind of with this game. I'm still not completely, but I read some of the stuff, so I have a better understanding as to what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing and whatnot. Once you get that, the mechanics of it are easy.
Okay, well that sounds
that sounds really fun.
Yeah, I saw you play it a little bit, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty fun. Especially when you were just like 3 times the guy led you to the dude that was trying to kill y'all. I was like, what is going on?
So dirty.
Then you just turned around.
No, I played one of the Watchers earlier today, and it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah. And then I like
the being distractor was fun.
Oh yeah, and I liked that you turned around and just did it to someone else. And I was like, oh man, is this what this game is about? You're just trying to snipe kill each other? So very fun. No, that's pretty cool.
Also, we had somebody in chat here, Padaraki Donato Ceres.
That's a tight name.
Sent me a link wanted to talk a little bit about Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if you guys, I haven't really seen, and I remember Baldur's Gate from my brother would play Baldur's Gate. How old are you?
Same.
What? You guys don't need to see that. Okay. So clearly there's some graphic stuff in this, I believe. So just a fair warning. I got to get through the ad here.
Oh yeah, I love.
But yeah, I remember my brother playing this game. I think he played Baldur's Gate 2, maybe. I never really got into them, but I know they have a very like D&D feel and whatnot.
Yeah. I saw the preview of it at E3, and that game looks tight. The game plays, it's like a dungeon crawler kind of game, so it's kind of like a Diablo-ish kind of thing, but like the ones that came out on the ones that came out, the original ones, the Baldur's Gates, and the Baldur's Gates that came out 1 and 2 was on PS2 back in the day, and I'm looking forward to this game because the cool thing was the gameplay, the story was tight, just everything was so fun, and especially when you played with a team, a multiplayer team. Even back in the day, it was even more challenging to get it, but when you did, man, it was you could literally play for hours. So yeah, if your brother,
holy shit,
yeah. So like
the trailer is insane.
Yeah. Now when you got the graphics in this, it's like, man. So yeah, this is gonna be a tight game, I will say. I am really, really glad that they're bringing it back.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now,
wait. So what is the story? Because you're playing the trailer here in stream. Watching the trailer, and so Cthulhu.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be, dude. The game is like, you know what I hope? I hope that they bring back the old school Baldur's Gates. I don't really remember the story that well, but the game is going. But because it's been a while, it's been like 15 years. So, but the gameplay is what was fun. The monsters that you were fighting, I guess they're putting more Lovecraftian stuff in it with what we just saw. So, that's
right.
gonna be, that's gonna be fun. So I'm assuming, Padaraki Donato Ceres plays that kind of stuff, and if he does, that's gonna be cool. And guess what, Smitty? That's also gonna be on Stadia. So,
okay, well, I'm getting sold.
Touche. Yeah, that looked good. I mean, I would check out. I would check that out for sure.
oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, and all the horror games, like yep.
Yep.
Transformation stuff, cool. Yeah, body horror. Yeah, let's play.
Yeah, those dungeon games are really great. I love those kind of. I mean, well, not all of them, but I really did love those games. Like Diablo's, obviously. Diablo 2 is up there, obviously. Torchlight, all those kind of games, like was like this. But Baldur's Gate was probably, I would say, would be the good second place to what Diablo is. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, I don't know if they had a release date on that yet. I'm assuming it's next year. So
let me.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Oh, and also, what was the release date again on Borderlands?
Borderlands 3 is in September.
That's September, right?
Yeah, I think.
It's too soon for me. No, because I started my game in the second one, and then it was on my old one, my old PC, and so I've lost the game data for that one. Unfortunately, I don't know why it wasn't doing cloud then, or whatever happened to it, but I'd have to play 2 again.
Yeah, I have to play 2. Period. I never played it.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's a release date. The release date's still TBA.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's September 13th for Borderlands 3. It's kind of sucks though, because like I'm going to be in Japan during that time, so it's just like so I would have to wait till I get back.
Tell you what, if I get through the Metal Gears fast enough, that could be my next game, and then Smitty could level us up real quick. How's that?
So I'll just have.
That's true. I mean, I'm not even that high of a level yet. I'm like mid-20s.
You'll be a master in September.
No, you're talking about Borderlands 3, man.
Oh, you're talking about the Borderlands 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
I know my way around now a little bit. Like I definitely feel a lot more comfortable navigating in that world.
I'll just give Smitty my
one thing
account.
I remember with that game is I didn't like the menu systems at all in that. Like there was just a lot of inventory stuff, and I remember not being a fan of that. Like it definitely held me up somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit. Well, I just think the overabundance of different kinds of guns can kind of oversaturate you. Can kind of like overwhelm you. Yeah, depending on if you
that's the best part, though.
No, I'm not saying the games are bad.
Over like say an Anthem, where it's like, I got the same 5 guns over and over and over.
I hate that tue. I can hate both.
No, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that the game. I mean, for me, I don't throw away anything. And it's hard for me to like, it's overwhelming me when I like say, should I get rid of this? I mean, this is an 892 and then this one's an 879, but this one has frost damage while this one has fire damage. Then I kind of justify myself like, oh, what if I fight something that's weak against fire? And like, like it kind of like that, then the inner conversation, like inner monologue of you're just like trying to figure it out. Like, should I or should I not? It overwhelms me.
Too many different options for too many different enemies, too many slightly different guns that don't really make a big difference. Like I like it. I do like it in games where like you start off with one and then like, okay, they do like a couple of different things. So there's just a base level of like what each gun does, what each weapon does. And then there's just like 1 to 2 upgrades of each of those throughout the game, and that's it. Right. Now, I don't want to play games with like 50 different types of guns that all do slightly different things.
I'm fine with the 50 different kinds of guns. I'm just saying that's just a knock on me. That's not a knock in the game, because the game is fun as hell. I'm just saying that it's like it's just kind of like it's kind of like Skyrim. Like I can't play Skyrim because I am just 100% klepto in that game. Like I just like because if I go into the game, I go in, I look at the books and like, oh, you could actually read the books. Then it's like, oh, I need to finish reading this book, but this guy has a bookshelf, so I'm going to take all his books and steal them just to take them, and then eventually try to read them, so I go absolutely nowhere in that game. So like,
oh my god, so much stuff to do.
Exactly.
I don't want so much stuff to do in my inventory. I want it to just like be there and be a bag, and be able to find and access the things I need when I need them, depending on the gameplay. That's it. I don't want anything else. I hate when inventories fill up. That's always annoying. It can be a little fun and a little added to like the gameplay. Like, I'm used to it in like Resident Evil, for example. Definitely got used to that. But when it's inventories that fill up where there's like thousands of items you're collecting, like in RPGs. I hate that. It's like, just let me hold an infinite number.
Yeah, I don't mind that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just like it tries to teach you to manage, but it's like, no, I can't do this. It's like, I got to get everything. I need to get all the stuff. But still.
Yeah, I totally feel you on that. Well, that's why I have such a hard time too with open world games, because there's so much stuff to do. Like, I try to focus just on the main storyline, maybe veer off and do a side mission here or there. But like, if I try to do otherwise I'll try to do everything, or I'll forget what I'm supposed to be doing, and it just takes me forever to get through the games. And then I just stop playing them.
The Witcher, yeah.
So it's like, ESO, dude,
The Witcher 3.
It's too much.
Yeah, The Witcher 3, it took me 3 years to beat, because I did everything. It took me 3 years. Yeah, because because the side stories.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of side, because at one point in time I was really gung ho about it, but then you get to a point where it's just like you're doing so much, but you feel like you're going nowhere because there's so much out there. Like, that map is so filled with stuff.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, so I decided to take a break. So I played it in breaks. I played it in breaks of a couple of months, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'll eventually do it. But I platinumed that game. That game was so good. If people are all hyped about Breath of the Wild, if you like Breath of the Wild, you'll love Witcher, because
I do.
Because Breath of the Wild is basically,
I gotta play that game.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is basically an empty version of The Witcher 3. That's what it is.
Wow, he says a shell.
That's what it is. It's a shell. It's exactly a shell. Just like it was so much mass, but there was but the level of side stories, the level of different kinds of things. It's just like it is straight up a shell of what The Witcher was. Like, someone put the infrastructure. It's like, okay, let's add 4 bosses here and there, and then boom, go to the end. But no, you would love. I guarantee if you loved Breath of the Wild, you would love Witcher 3. So yeah,
I am still loving Breath of the Wild. I still haven't finished that.
Yeah,
my Switch is probably one. So. You still haven't gotten it? I like it. I love Zeldas.
I'm doing the Metal Gear stuff now, so
yeah.
I refuse to buy a Zelda game again.
We'll see where I'm at. I totally want to buy it. Oh man, they've gotten such a great art style now, and they're doing a sequel to it, which is not very common in Zeldaverse.
Right.
Non-technically or technically. I don't know how you want to, because, timeline-wise, it's all basically one timeline that splits off, if you really want to get into it. But technically, there are no sequels.
The timeline of Zelda is garbage.
There's only a
That's
couple.
What that is. Yeah.
The timeline it's all over. It is all over the place.
Well, it's multiple links, and there's multiple. Oh, I do show you a link after this, Smitty, because you'll be like, because there was a guy who made fun of did an explanation of its timeline through Back to the Future, and you'd be like, oh my god, it's like, this is terrible. Like, what is this?
Well, it's like basically different timelines, like based somewhat kind of like Back to the Future ideas, and then also it's like it all is just so far apart. It's basically just everything all dies and then comes back and history repeats. Like, it's like that much time.
And that's why I hate Zelda.
Is between each of the games. Like, it's not even.
No, that's
it's not even. They're not even connected. It doesn't even matter.
Wait, but you like Battlestar? But do you like Battlestar Galactica?
Me
or him?
Yes. Him.
I don't even know. I never watched Battlestar Galactica. I never did.
What are you talking about? You've never seen the series the newer one?
Never saw Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my gosh, we are ending stream right now. We're gonna start it right now.
Oh man, never saw it.
No, you have got to.
We might be doing that because the guy on it is obsessed with it. And I feel very similar to it with how I do with Game of Thrones. Like, it is so freaking good and brilliant and smart and, like, just pushing the genre in all the great new directions. And then it kind of stops doing that and kind of falls off the wagon, but still worth watching. But, oh god, does it get bad.
Okay, we're clearly veering off, so we should close this up right now, and we'll talk about it after the stream.
Bad.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
Everyone, thank you for watching podcast. Gamecast episode number 15 of CFG Gamecast. We will always check. You can always check us out on Saturdays, and we will release for podcast services on Monday. You can also check out Smitty's channel, Smitty2447. Smitty, what are you going to be streaming? I'm assuming the beta or that beta game.
I'm going to be playing Gold Express this whole weekend, probably.
Awesome. Great. Check it out. It's Smitty2447. Sesh is going to probably be doing some more Metal Gear Solid. I think you're on Metal Gear Solid 2 right now, right?
Yep, I got my technical issues solved, and I'm going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 2 next to help crowdfund and campaign for my Metal Gear Solid short film.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, so definitely check it out, and also check out the short films. Indiegogo. Is it Indiegogo? I don't think it was Indiegogo, was it?
It's Indiegogo.
It is.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Also, I was going to say, it's funny, I was just thinking about it. Do you know that they released an HDMI cable for PlayStation 2, HDMI cable for PS2 that allows you to connect to your Elgato?
Really?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I saw something about the 64 getting that, though.
They already have that. It's actually it's funny. Like, they have them for the Dreamcast. I can show you the link. It's called, the name of the company is called Hyperkin. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like $40. It's like $20. So yeah, check it out.
That's not bad,
dude. I still have PS2 games that I should be playing. Like, this one is MGS2, obviously, is technically, but there's other ones I got that I need to play.
Yeah. Oh God, there's a good amount of library, especially if you don't want to do that stupid BS with PlayStation Now. Anyway, and
I don't.
Yeah, no one does. And you can check out my content, CFG Games. We have a group of streamers on my channel. We're actually in about the next 30 minutes. We're going to be doing a playthrough of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the first time with a group of us. And on the beginning of the week on Mondays, we do Monster Hunter Mondays. So play with anyone who likes to play Monster Hunter on the PS4. So definitely join in on that. But everyone, thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time. Oh, and the guy who says I look like Devon Dudley, this one's for you. Testify. Okay, goodbye.